Today is February 17th, 2025. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life, and this is Pro-Life Week. Well, today is President's Day, and the banks are closed, post office is not delivering mail, some businesses may be closed, but I think in general, most places are still open. It's the day that we honor the birthday of George Washington. There's a little bit of a story on that. His birthday is February 22nd. Abraham Lincoln's birthday was February 12th. So today is kind of like in between the two. So we're celebrating or honoring Washington, but Abe's in there too. Now there's a little bit of a backstory about George Washington, and this is news you can't use, but I'm going to give it to you anyway because I do find it interesting. Historically, Washington was born on February 11th, 1732. And I'm gonna read a little bit here from Wikipedia on President's Day. Let's see here. At the time, the British Empire, including the North American possessions, was on the Julian calendar. The empire not being bound to the Catholic Church that had not yet adopted the modern Gregorian calendar the Catholic countries had adopted in 1582. Consequently, by the 1730s, the Julian calendar used by Britain and the colonies were 11 days behind the Gregorian calendar because of leap year differences. Furthermore, the British civil year began on March 25th rather than January 1st. So that dates in February belong to the preceding year. It's getting complicated. In 1752, the British Empire switched to the Gregorian calendar. Since then, Americans born prior to 1752, including Washington, have typically had their birthdays recognized according to the Gregorian calendar. Since February 11th, 1731, on the Julian calendar, was February 22nd, 1732 on the Gregorian calendar. Like I said, this is complicated. Washington changed his birth date to February 22nd, 1732 to match the new calendar. Have I confused you? So there was like an 11 or 12 day shift. So you woke, so in February, in 1752, when the British Empire switched calendars, they added 11 days overnight to line up with the Gregorian calendar. So that's why sometimes if you're looking at things, you might see the letters O period, S period after somebody's birth date. That's indicating old style, the Julian calendar, as opposed to the Gregorian, which is what I know. So, like I said, news you can't use, you're not going to need this information, but just give you background about George Washington's real birthday, February 11, old style, in 1732. Okay, two things today, unrelated information. A retired medical scientist from Bournemouth, England, will face trial on March 6th following charges relating to her charitable work supporting women in crisis pregnancies. Now, Bournemouth is on the English Channel, so it's on the southern coast of England, city of about 200,000 people. So it's no small village. Livia Tasiki Bolt, age 63, held a sign reading, quote, "Here to talk if you want to," unquote, near an abortion facility in Bournemouth. Several individuals approached her to take up her offer of a conversation about matters going on in their lives. Quote, "There's nothing wrong with two adults engaging in a consensual conversation on the street. I shouldn't be treated like a criminal just for this," she said in a response. local authorities confronted her, alleging that she had breached a local abortion buffer zone. Now, we've talked before about Isabel Vaughn, a woman who's been arrested 2 or 3 times for walking in this buffer zone and praying silently. And she's been arrested for praying silently. Unbelievable. But somehow silent prayer is a violation of the law in England. Okay. So this woman had breached, quoted, supposedly breached a buffer zone which bans expression of approval or disapproval of abortion. They issued a fixed penalty notice, which was like a fine, which she refused to pay on the grounds that she did not breach the terms of it, and had the right, protected under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act, to offer consensual conversations. She will face trial at the Bournemouth Magistrates Court on March 6th. The Alliance Defending Freedom UK are supporting her legal defense. Quote, "For several years now, I've been offering a helping hand to women who would like to consider other options to abortion, and pointing them to options where they can receive financial and practical support, if that's what they would like. There's nothing wrong with offering help. There's nothing wrong with 2 adults engaging in a consensual conversation on the street. I shouldn't be treated like a criminal just for this," she said. Okay. The principle of freedom of thought and speech must be defended both within and outside buffer zones. It's unthinkable that as real crime is mounting, policing time and resources are being expended on peaceful individuals like Olivia, who simply and peacefully offer conversations. No genuinely free and democratic society criminalizes its citizens for exercising the right to freedom of speech, especially when such speech is nothing more than a harmless and consensual conversation, commented Jeremiah, I can't even pronounce his last name, legal counsel for ADF UK, who are supporting Ms. Bolt's legal defense. Let's hope and pray that cooler heads or saner heads will prevail in this trial. She holds up a sign, "Please talk to me if you'd like." And somehow that has become a criminal offense in England. Unbelievable. Okay, moving on. Back in 2021, Gallup poll did a survey of Democratic voters asking which direction they wanted the party to go. And it was almost evenly split. 34% wanted the party to become more liberal, 34% wanted them to become more moderate, and 31% wanted them to stay the same. Well, Gallup just did another survey just after Trump's inauguration. So it's January of 2025. And the numbers show a decided shift. Now, 45% want the Dems to be more moderate, 29% more liberal, and 22% to stay the same. Almost half, 45%, almost half, want the party to move back to the middle. So what were the voters saying back in the November election? For a lot of voters, the answer fell on cultural issues. Do you want boys playing in girls' sports? No. Do you think minors should have hormone treatments or surgeries that permanently alter their bodies? Vast majority of Americans said no. Should abortion be legal in all stages of a woman's pregnancy? Most people said no. They may have supported abortion maybe through the first trimester, some into this up to viability, but into the third trimester, no. But the problem has been the Democratic leadership on all three of those questions: boys playing in girls' sports, hormones and surgeries for minors for transgender things, or abortion in the final trimester. All three of those questions were answered differently by the leadership of the Democratic Party. They said yes to all three of those. Yes, they did, all three of them. And they lost to Donald Trump. Gallup poll says voters want change. Move to the middle, move to the center. The question is, will the leadership of the Democratic Party listen to their voters and move back to the middle? That is the big question the Democrats have to answer in the next year or so. And I'm not sure that the Democratic leadership is listening to their voters. They are still stuck with their liberal base. With that, I'll let you go and I'll see you next time.